What's going on, guys? Gilly Writes Comics and Stuff is here with you. We have a new, awesome campaign to talk about, and we all know about crowdfunding campaigns. It's definitely a rodeo. I've thankfully been able to successfully crowdfund 6 campaigns. The creator of Under the Flesh, Lair and Pistolera, and Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Here we'll be talking about BRIC-A-BRAC with Mr. Ryan HAACK. Am I saying it right?
HAACK.
Ryan HAACK. He's not a hack, people. Ryan HAACK. Awesome. I love it. All right, Ryan, take it away. Talk to me.
So yeah, this book is the first part of a 3-part story. It's going to be 30 pages, but I think maybe we can expand that a little bit because we got a little extra funds than our goal was.
Wait. Hold on a second. You're funded?
Oh yes, we're completely funded. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
I knew that. I just wanted people to know that this guy is
yes, we are completely funded with 2 more. Well, yeah, 1 more day, a little bit more than 24 hours left. And
right, guys, so 34 hours left, people. Get on that. 34 hours left, and trust me, we're going to take a look at this campaign. It's very special. All right, keep on. Go for it, Ryan.
So yeah, this book is basically everything I've ever wanted to write about Christmas. I've been fascinated by Christmas my entire life, and this book is basically like the classic holiday tales, like Jack, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or
all right, hold on a second. This is what we're gonna do, because you're talking about Christmas, and you don't normally people don't associate Christmas with comics, right? So right. I want to share the screen so they can see what we're talking about. But before we do that, okay, I'm Mr. Big Producer Guy, okay, and you cornered me in the bathroom. You found me. You cornered me in the bathroom. And you're about to give me your elevator pitch, and I'm going to listen to it. So give me your elevator pitch, okay, on BRIC-A-BRAC, and I'll tell you from the elevator pitch if I'm interested or not.
Okay, well, the story is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Star Wars combined into it's an epic Christmas amalgam that is it has heart, it has a lot of heart, it has great characters, fantastical locations, and it'll make you believe in the magic of Christmas again.
All right, I'm done. I'm sold. You got me. I want to know more. You had me first off at Rudolph meets Star Wars, because I don't know how the heck you're going to pull that off. You also had me at Christmas amalgam, because I don't know how the heck you rolled it off your tongue so smooth. And you also had me at the magic of Christmas, because there is definitely a magic in Christmas. So you had me in your elevator pitch, so I'm interested. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share the screen right here. I want, when people see this, I want them to understand that we're really getting the magic of Christmas even in your book. And for the people who don't know, Ryan, he approached me on Facebook, and he, I get a lot of messages somehow. And I'm like I said, I'm always willing to help people if I can. And he told me about his project, and it was like a Nutcracker Christmas thing. And I'm like, okay, I like the title BRIC-A-BRAC, right? And when he showed me the link and I looked into it, I was floored. It was great quality, and it's Christmas. You don't get enough Christmas comics, and I mean, we all love Christmas time. We all love what it means. So just imagine if you can throw in some comic fodder at the same time. Like, I'm sold. So we're scrolling down here to where we're going to get some. Here we got the logo, and this is where I'll just scroll through some artwork. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down. And Ryan, you just tell me a little bit more about your book.
All right. So yeah, it's basically about, as you can read in the title, nutcrackers. It's about a planet Christmas, basically, that used to be a really beautiful place a long time ago, but resources that have, well, the Nutcrackers basically have started a war. If this was World War I, it would be German. They would be Germany, and or if it was Star Wars, they would be the Empire,
Gotcha.
But of course, in Star Wars, there's a lot of different factions. It's not just so the Nutcrackers. They want resources. They want Christmas spirit to sell, because they want to conquer planet Christmas, and other planets. This is where the galactic part of it comes in. Other planets find the Christmas spirit very valuable. It's like oil, and they can create they can create amazing things with the Christmas spirit, and it's an energy, and it's a resource to other planets. And so they sell the Nutcrackers weapons, and that's where you see those. Yeah. So they can take over the planet, and that's where you see them, later in this little samples I've given on the Kickstarter, where they're sucking up the fairies, is because they are collecting, and they are
the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, well, they're collecting the Christmas spirit to give to them, but they're also trying to take out anyone in their way with the new weapons they've acquired. Because they're not technically advanced people. You see, they have wooden ships. They are very primitive in their. They're all made of wood. They don't have Nutcrackers. Don't have guns. But when they you see they have swords, but they also have those like little Ghostbuster things, and those were given to them by.
And what do they shoot out confetti? Oh no, it's actually sucking them in. It's like the Luigi's or the ghost sucker thing.
Yeah, exactly, and it sucks the sugar plum fairies, and so that brings in the sugar plum fairies, who are they are pretty much the fairy godmothers of this planet, and they protect the children, the innocence of the children, because the children, unlike the adults who are in war, they understand. Planet Christmas. They know where Santa Claus is. The adults don't know where Santa Claus is. They don't know where the North Pole is. The kids have an imagination where they can see more than what the adults can see, and that's a theme that goes on. And so the fairy godmothers, the Sugar Plum fairies protect the children on Sugar Plum Cove, which is the island you just saw, and then that's one of the factions. But they get taken out pretty easily by the Nutcrackers, and then there's another faction that lives in Christmasville, which is where we are right here with the dragon, and you see,
guys, we got dragons. It's official, okay?
Yeah, it is definitely a fantasy book because there's a lot of Christmas and fantasy together. You see a snowman spider, I guess you could call that. I like that. And unique. That's our main character Garrett, who's a 10-year-old boy, and he had to leave the Sugar Plum Cove because there was an attack, and he was the only kid that was able to leave, and it wasn't kidnapped, and he is on a mission to give Santa Claus a list that will stop the war, essentially a list of wishes that Santa Claus hopefully will grant. And
so real quick, does Santa Claus make an appearance, or is that
Father Christmas is his name?
Father Christmas, I love it.
It's a classic kind of more like that. And so you see his comrade Marie, who is in the militia that is basically the rebellion, fighting against the Nutcrackers, and also another faction, Good King Wenceslas, who this is where some of the Christian element of the story comes in later, where Good King Wenceslas, he wants to find this planet's Christ. He wants to find a Christ on this for this planet.
I like this. This is it's very unique, and it ties on a lot of things that are familiar that we know with Christmas. And I think the story you're weaving together definitely sounds epic.
It is epic.
And I like what I'm seeing here. Here's some of the art. Ghost of the Future. Here's the Father Christmas. He looks amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be the art print that hopefully if we reach 8,000 by tomorrow or Saturday morning, everyone will get one of those in a print.
So all right. So talk to me. So real quick, this is Planet Christmas.
That is, right? That is it.
I love it. All right. So, okay. We have a trilogy planned. Is that what we have?
It is part one of a 3-part story. It's not it is like part one of, like, let's say it's a graphic novel altogether. This is just part one of it. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. So it's like issue one of 3 issues, So
how did you, because this is really good art. It's really colorful. Who is doing the artwork and the cover?
He's a beast. His name is Raphael Sam. He is an absolute freaking beast. And we talked. I found him on ArtStation, which I was using DeviantArt trying to find artists, and a lot of DeviantArt now is just porn and gross stuff,
just trash, right?
And nasty stuff. And I'm sure you know that because we've all had those days when we had to look for artists, and they still do that. But ArtStation is an amazing place to find people, and I
have to try ArtStation. How do you you just did you just check random people? Is it
you go
intuitive or
you put comic art? There's like a comic art tier, latest comic art. And I found Raphael's. He does this thing where he draws, for example, I think I put it on my Twitter, like Wolverine X-23, or no, not X-23, Weapon X, but as a baby. or like it's like a Scotty Young kind of thing where it's like
awesome. Yeah, you wanted that style. You saw the style, right? It's like we're writers, so when you see, sometimes you look for art, certain style that goes with kind of your story, and you found a great talent here because he's also coloring. So not only is he illustrating, he's also coloring, which is amazing. Is he going to do the letter work too, or you have someone?
No, I have someone for the letter. His name's Tobin. He's an epic. He works on a lot of Kickstarter projects like this, but we were pretty good friends. So
even better, you got your letterer. You have a professional looking book, and here's the thing: the sequential storytelling is really fluid. And a lot of times you'll see some great artists, but you're like, what happened from panel 1 to panel 2 to panel 3? Here you could kind of see what's going on. It's cohesive.
Yeah,
it's very fluid. So I like what I'm seeing here. You funded already with 128 backers. You got 34 hours to go. So whoever sees this, the rewards are pretty. They're very reasonable. If you guys want to get in on the digital, it's only $5. So if you don't want to stretch yourself, if you're trying to back a lot of stuff at once, you can definitely get a $5 digital tier. Gets you your name in it. $9 gets you some more stuff. A digital PDF of the unspeakable text. What's that?
That is my last book that I thought I'd just throw in there because it's.
You're getting 2 books for $9. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a horror anthology, but it's. It's not really anything similar to this, but if you like my writing, then you would probably like that too.
So here you go. So they get more people to get familiar with your stuff, and just for the physical copy, we got $12. And how much is shipping for domestic?
There's $0 for U.S. shipping. That is $0 for U.S. shipping, which might have been some of the reason why I struggled to get to my goal. But I wanted to make that happen because I saw my last campaign that I didn't need all this extra money for U.S. shipping. I had put like $10, and the book themselves, one book will cost $2, so plus $10 shipping in the U.S. That's it. So that's
you'll notice when you're shipping. I mean, you're going to ship to 128 people, depending how you ship it. $10 is definitely kind of high. $5 is pretty good, but at the same time, if it's like if it takes a lot of time doing it, ordering the stuff, $10 I feel is a fair price point. What you could do is have like $10 maybe for US and then your international, because I know that's a killer. I know that's a killer.
I put so that is where I really focused. It was like, so Canada $8, UK $10, everywhere else $18. Like, because last time I really had a difficult time sending to Portugal, sending to France, sending to all these different places that were a pain in the ass. I mean, you look at like it was the most weird experience last time looking at these. And I was in a New York post office, so first off, they hate you for taking. They hate you with a passion.
Yeah, because you're doing international.
Yeah, but you look at these things, and they're all. One was in South Korea, or one, it was like, I don't even know if I'm getting this right. I hope you get your book. I mean, I don't know what to do. Like,
not to mention all the paperwork you got to fill out, right? For the custom form, you got to fill out. Like, it's a process. So
it was like that. It was eye opening, man. Oh my God, my last campaign. I mean, it was a pain in the ass. So
it's a learning process. You're learning the curves, and definitely you're understanding. Like, even with shipping, the price varies also on the weight.
Yeah,
and you're gonna see that.
This last time, the thing that really hit me was these Gemini. I don't know who convinced me to buy them. The Gemini comic supply. Mm-hmm. These things, they are nice.
They're expensive too.
And they're expensive as hell, and also they are so heavy. So this time I'm just bagging and boarding, very simple, and then covering it with like a little bubble wrap thing, and that's it. Like.
Be mindful because I did a piece of letter campaign, and this was more floppies I was sending. So there wasn't a need for the Gemini, but I did have Gemini for what I was sending out for Lair, which was a trade paperback. And then I had people that backed multiple variant copies for piece of letter. So that's like 5, in one. So I put that in the Gemini. But I sent 2 in a rigid envelope, cardboard and everything, and somehow the rigid envelope got bent, and people got their books were bended. I'm like, give me your address. I'll send you a new copy because I still had some copies left.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'm thinking of maybe putting 2 boards in on each side. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a print, so it's kind of dope that, like, if we reach 8,000, everyone will have that extra little, you know, what is it called? You know, kind of like sandwiching the book between them. You know, so I don't know, but I realized that
you do this,
But yeah, I mean, my last book, I'm holding it in my hands. My last book was 75 pages because it was an anthology of horror little stories I wrote and collaborated with and other people with, and it's a heavy. I mean, it's a trade paperback. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that Marvel has now, and they only put 3 issues in. This is bigger than that. So I mean, it was. I didn't even realize it, but yeah, this next book is thin. And it'll be way easier. And people won't, you know, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's like the funny thing is, like, the post office people will be like, what do you think the value of your thing is? I was like, I don't really know. Yeah, it's just like so many funny experiences doing that. It was a pain in the butt, but definitely a huge eye-opening experience for me.
It's a learning curve. Crowdfunding, it doesn't come without its stress. I'm sure, you know, because, you know, you go through college. You're doing college right now and you're crowdfunding. So I've been there. I crowdfunded through college, through, you know, marriage, fatherhood. So it's definitely stressful, but you learn with each project, and it's just a learning experience even now. And I've crowdfunded a few. So I like the story we got here. So tell me, have you done any YouTube streams? How'd this come about?
Well, the whole story idea, well, like I said, I've been obsessed with Christmas for my entire life. And, you know, I have always grappled with people telling me not to love Santa because, you know, I went to a Christian school, and I have always had people tell me, you know, Santa's really not this or that, or, you know, he doesn't exist. And I wanted to come to this, you know, I feel like there's a war going on between people who celebrate the conventional the Santa Claus Christmas and the Jesus Christmas, you know, and I just wanted to tell a story about, obviously there's value in Jesus Christmas. It's incredibly important, and it is an incredibly important story and an event in the world, in history. But also Santa Claus has value, and Santa Claus, his value is, you know, like, you know, so many people are attracted to Christmas, like so many people who don't know Jesus are attracted to Christmas. There is a value that people are not understanding that Christmas has, and so this story is about these different sides fighting for really just their concept of this beautiful idea of Christmas. It is about, you know,
it's about bringing
just value, you know, showing the value of both of every interpretation of Christmas, because at the end of the day, Christmas itself is about being with, you know, family and friends, and trying to be the best you can be. And, you know, we should always try to celebrate Christmas every single day of our lives. And that's, again, the main...
And giving, right? And not receiving, and not going crazy for Black Friday sales.
And I just... the idea was...
need.
I mean, the real true idea of this story is to, instead of make Christmas a holiday, you know, let's make it a concept. You know what I'm saying? It's not about a holiday. It's about a concept. It's about a state of mind. I want to act like I just woke up every morning. It's Christmas morning. I'm running downstairs to get my presents. I want that to be every morning. So why can't we? Like, everyone is so nice at Christmas. People are so generous.
I know. They'll let you cut in front. You know, even road rage diminishes during Christmas time. Statistics, I'm sure, prove that. But
it's like, why can't we all just try?
All right. So one question, because you bring in an interesting topic here. We got Father Christmas, we got Santa Claus Christmas, and then we got Jesus Christmas, right? Now, you say people that don't know about Christ or whatever, right? They gravitate towards Christmas because of the message, you know, giving, not receiving, being warm, you know, wholesome, not selfish, right? Unselfish. So are there some subtle Christological references here that maybe someone who isn't familiar with Jesus Christmas, where they might get something of value in that sense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all about bringing value to Santa Claus and belief, and just, surrounding yourself with positive things. That's what Christmas really is. Why do we, have stockings? Why do we have beautiful Christmas trees? Why do we surround ourselves with beauty during Christmas? Well, it's because it makes us better people. So that's what the story, it's a beautiful book. If you surround yourself with beauty, you create a beautiful life. I mean, it's just Christmas, everything about it is just so fascinating to me, and it doesn't make sense why we don't celebrate it all the time, because it seems like there's so many benefits. And I get that if we take away the presents, honestly, when I look back to the Christmases that I used, I don't remember the presents. I just remember the feeling. I just remember how everyone was so generous and kind. When you get older, you start to rationalize and think, wow, Christmas, I mean, I don't even give a crap about the PlayStation 3 that I got, when I was 12 years old. That's in the dump right now. But what really matters is what happened, how.
Hey, that PlayStation 3 is still useful, I hope you didn't dump it. It's still a very serviceable Blu-ray player.
Yeah, exactly. But that's truly the meaning of the story. It's something I've wanted to tell my entire life. It is the most personal thing I've ever written yet, because it's about everything I've ever wanted to say about this holiday. And man, it's just, it's almost like I got one. If you only had one opportunity to say everything you wanted about Christmas, this is it. This is truly, I mean, it's got everybody in it for a reason. It's because this is what I love, and this is the story I feel like I was born to tell. And with Raphael, I hope he feels that. I mean, he loves doing it too. He loves drawing this stuff, and he's so excited to be able to do sketches for people who pledge to that tier. And
it's a community thing too. Crowdfunding, definitely, it's a good way to bring the creators closer with the fans. And I think what you're doing here is pretty unique. I like the energy you have. I want to say that this, I hope, can become something special during Christmas time. I don't see why this can't be, like a Netflix original, during Christmas time. It definitely has mainstream appeal in that regard. Where you might find some hiccups here and there is just, when you try to put the spirituality in there. And I think this is where it's good when you can do it in a way that's wholesome and edifying and not propaganda. Because as much as I talk against propaganda, I'm very against propaganda, even when it comes from us Christian films, because I've seen Christian films. I'm like, okay, man, you guys are doing this not in a way that it's going to reach someone who's not a Christian. Even a Christian might be like, it gets kind of cringe. And I want to, as a Christian, and I make stuff for mainstream, I want to show, hey, you can have spiritual messages.
Right. Well, I will spoil a little bit.
Work.
For in the future, the character who does bring the religion into it, he's fighting a war, man. He has knights, good King Wenceslas. I mean, this isn't until later, but he kidnaps Garrett. He's not a nice guy, but yet he wants to bring this. He believes that Jesus is coming. I mean, this planet's version of Jesus is coming, and so he he's adamant about it, and he would I'm not kill because it's a G-rated, but he would do anything to get it, anything, and he doesn't, so it just shows you that it's not like propaganda because, oh my God, he believes in God, and isn't it? Like,
it's his you're writing a character that's true to his beliefs. Don't ever fault yourself for writing a character that might be who they are. That's just what we do.
And that's who he is. He just wants, wants everyone in Christmasville to believe that Jesus is coming, and goddamn, if you don't, then he's going to come to war. And at the end of the story, all these factions wage a war, and it is epic. It is a fighting of ideology of Christmas. It is epic, man. I mean, this is such a dope story. I mean, oh my God, it's awesome.
All right. Well, we definitely got some people here that were watching. That was pretty cool. I appreciate whoever stopped by. Rod Looper, what's going on, bro? What's up? He's an amazing artist. He's working on Detective Dead. Blue Bastion's another one, and I'm crossing fingers. I think we'll be good to do a project for next year. I got EJ Morgs. This looks pretty good. It does, right? I mean, because when I saw it, I love your avatar right now. Like that's what I saw, the Nutcracker, and I'm like, okay,
Oh yeah.
this looks good. Like if it didn't look good, I would, like I said, I wouldn't. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay,
No,
we all have time. We all have, but I'm like, I wanted to see this fun, and I'm so glad that it funded. I'm definitely going to back this just because I want something to read during Christmas time or around thereof. And the concept is cool. Rusty Deo says, "Hey, Gilly. Hey, man, thank you for stopping by. We're supporting books here. That's what we do. And this one looks pretty good. Christmas mixed with Star Wars, and you're getting a touch of everything in between. So Ryan is definitely the man now that I had him on the show to make this book happen. We got Ronald Christian says, this looks like a fun, sweet book. And then he says, we need some more family-friendly comics like this. Definitely we do. And it's one that has substance, because this one looks like it's trying to create the magic of Christmas. We got to understand, right? We are blessed if we're able to have a Christmas with family, if we're able to have a Christmas with presents under a tree, because there is an alternate reality where there's people from broken homes that Christmas kind of doesn't mean anything for them. And if Ryan's story could somehow touch their heart, maybe they could open up to the idea of Christmas. Maybe they could have a friend that's really close with, and they could, it could embrace and it could foster like what we need for Christmas for people that don't have it and need it, So this fantasy creates a good feeling, right? And I'm gonna back it. This is great for my niece and nephew. So we got someone that's backing it aside from myself. So you got two backers here. This is a good thing, Ryan. You funded your book, okay? You have a little audience that you're building, and you got a lot of energy and passion, and that's all I like to see in someone who creates comics, because that's what we need. We need passion. So for those of you who don't know, whoever watched this, definitely give BRIC-A-BRAC some love. Now, if for some reason it's on Kickstarter and you don't want to back it, we totally understand. And Ryan, I believe, will entertain the option of expanding his audience and bringing it to Indiegogo, possibly.
Yes.
So there you go. So he's going to bring this to Indiegogo, which means people who are selective and don't want to bet. It's like some people like McDonald's, some people like Burger King. We get it. Ryan is also Burger King and McDonald's. He's going to both shops and peddling his wares. So it's for everybody.
Exactly. So I'm gonna definitely try to get it out there and make more after this. Because obviously this is a story that is epic, and it has 2 more parts to it. So hopefully this issue, if you like it, will drag you into this world that is complicated, and there's a lot going. It's not like Santa Claus is all good. He wants to escape from this place. He wants to. He doesn't feel that he hasn't any worth anymore. He kind of escapes from his family and just isolates himself. So it is interesting how the characters you think, oh, Santa Claus would be so joyous and he would try to fight the war. No, he's totally against the war. So I just love the ideologies here, because you're right. Some people don't want to celebrate Christmas, or some people just have really bad experiences. And Garrett meets these people when he's and it's at the beginning of the second issue, but you do hear about them in the first issue. They're called they're called the Mothers and Fathers of Christmas, and they basically when he's walking through this poinsettia forest to get to where he thinks Santa Claus is, these people, they have completely rejected Christmas. Well,
this is good. So this is good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're touching all the angles.
Yeah. So basically, when they see a candy cane, obviously there's a lot of Christmas food. You have to eat candy canes. You have, there's not like, you can't go get a steak, right? Because it's Christmas, Planet Christmas. So when
a ham, you could get a ham.
Yeah, you can get a ham, maybe. But when they see eggnog, they try to distill it and just make it water. They don't want eggnog. When they see a candy cane, they just want to make it sugar. And they see, some kind of Christmas dish, they just want to make it into something normalized. These people are super fascinating because they show Garrett, Christmas, all it is, it just brings problems. It just brings, and so, you know, Garrett gets to see all these different perspectives about Christmas. It's the same kinds you see in life. And as you grow older as a kid, you're used to yours. But as you grow older, things get complicated. People tell you Santa isn't real. People tell you God isn't real. People tell you, oh my, people upset you. People don't make it to your Christmas party. You know, there's so much stuff that happens in life that changes your perspective of Christmas. And this is about getting back to what it was like as a kid, in defiance of all those other perspectives. So this is an epic book, man.
So Garrett is definitely going to be on a roller coaster of emotion, of perspectives. We're going to get equal representation from different viewpoints of Christmas, which I think is good. And we got it in a nice fantasy setting. I got Rusty Dio here. He says, I like the art. If he is okay with it, I'd be happy to localize it to Japanese. So Rusty, he localizes some indie comics that probably wouldn't reach Japanese markets, and he's trying to tap into the Japanese market through indie books because manga is dominating, and there's also potential indie comics that should, with a great translation, could definitely open some eyes and makes for good business. So
yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, like if he wants to message me or anything, that would be awesome.
So Rusty, be open to that. I got his Kickstarter up. I believe his Kickstarter has some personal contact information on there. Yes.
Facts as well as. And also, if anyone's listening and they've backed, we have a Christmas collage at the end of the book, at the back of the book, that, you know, if you have a really cool Christmas picture or holiday picture at all, we're going to post it up there. So, you know, there's a lot of things to participate with the book. And, you know, on the updates page, I've been trying to put on some stuff about, you know, music that's inspired if you look at the updates, you know, I have all this music that I've tried to tell backers, oh, I've been really inspired by this or this. So, you know, just trying to engage with people in different ways. It's, you know, I've definitely, like you said, I'm learning and learning.
So guys, even with learning, one thing that I think is very clever here is that if you have a family photo, we all have those Christmas photos, right? He's actually going to make a collage. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, you're kind of making me want to do that one. I mean, I get it. This is a good thing. This is special. The good thing I have going for me is that he's going to do a trilogy, which means there's 2 other books, which means the collage is definitely going to be something special. And hopefully he'll do one big book of it all together, like one part, and then the whole the trade paperback version, or like the graphic novel version.
Yes.
With hopefully he'll add a collage there, and hopefully I can make for that one. Only because I'm super tight on budget, but I love the energy and I love what I'm seeing, and I'm definitely going to support this book. I definitely want to see where it goes because I think it's special. And if you could bring the magic back in Christmas, that's an amazing thing. And the trilogy, I think trilogies work. For me, with Galactic Witness of Mayhem, I have it as a trilogy in mind. I think there's something about reading a book in 3 parts that I feel is I don't know. I just feel like you can do it ongoing, monthly, forever. But I think, you know, you can get exhaustion. There could be some storytelling fatigue. But I think when you got your story, you do it in 3 parts. It's like it's probably like not enough, but then it's like more than enough. I feel like a trilogy is a great baseline, and see how things work from there. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. But this is an amazing book with the Christmas spirit to go with it in a fantasy setting. Ryan, any last words? It was a pleasure having you. I'm looking forward to having you when you definitely launch any other books.
I'll be here. I can't wait for your book. I mean, that is amazing. I mean, I cannot wait. I mean, you're going to reach your goal. You're going to get it. You absolutely are. Just keep grinding, like you said. I mean, like, you've been in so many interview shows already, so, you know, I mean, there's so much you can. I mean, you've really worked so hard to get this book out there, and I know you're going to get it. You're going to.
Let's hope. Hey, we all got that crowdfunding stress, but when you make it, isn't it the best feeling?
It is.
Right when you crowdfund and you got it, it's almost like you feel like you won the lotto.
I genuinely, I mean, I can't tell you how it is a roller coaster ride of emotions. I mean, I haven't written for a couple of weeks now because I've just been using all my extra time to
promote, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that tiring? Like, you got to be up, you got to look for new areas.
Yeah, man. I mean, I tried to get on the Christmas sites and they kept blocking me.
You see, gatekeeping people, gatekeeping Christmas. There's people that gatekeep Christmas.
Yeah, man. They were like, we don't let you solicit things. It's like, but come on, please. I mean, I did get some blogs to contribute, but oh my God.
Yeah.
That was my first, because I talked to you about that, and then I went ham on these little groups. I just kept, and now I'm a part of like 100 Christmas groups. None of them wanted any of my stuff.
And you know what's funny? This is the funny thing. They don't want none of your stuff. But guess what? And I put my life on this. If this would get to where it should be, let's hope it gets popular enough and it gets thrown out there, right? Like where mainstream puts it on, and it's like Netflix. These are the same people that are going to run flocking to watch it.
Right.
So they don't, I went through the same thing in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle groups because I am the biggest Ninja Turtle fan, and I wanted to write a comic that was fun, and thus Galactic Rodents and Mayhem was born. It would have never been possible without my love and adulation for the Turtles. And what's worse, when you want to share something that you know people will like, and you get your post removed from some mod on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle group. Oh, we don't do Indiegogos. I'm like, or we don't do Kickstarter. I'm like, dude, this is are you? I know I've been there, Ryan.
This is totally like
up
this
your
has
alley.
everything to do. Yeah, it's like, why would you block me? Like this Reddit guy was like, they're so mean on Reddit too. It's almost like they're police. Like,
Reddit is the
word. How could you do this?
But
how could you?
Here's one thing I want to say for Reddit, because there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle group in there, and I posted one of my cover, but when it was in the black and white phase, and I had a turtle reference in there, I had the manhole, and I'm like, could you guys spot the turtle reference? I'm like, hey, I'm a big turtle fan. This would have never been possible without the turtles, yada yada yada. But I'm like, can you spot the turtle reference? And it was a manhole at the bottom of the cover. It's hard to see in the color version because I got the logo there, but before you could kind of see it. And I said when it came to it, all the sewer hole, whatever, one person, when I checked his history, was just always toxic. And he's like, what does that have to do with the turtles? I'm like, dude, it's a sewer manhole. I'm like, it's artistic license. Do you not understand that's a viable reference? Oh, there's nothing with the turtles on it. I'm like, I could have put NYC on it, but I'm like, I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Dude, so negative that I told the mods, I'm like, mods, just get it out of here and like just remove the post. They removed it, but I was adamant to get somebody. And I talked to the moderator. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not trying to cause any discord. I'm like, this is what I'm trying to do. Would you want to see the pitch? Yeah, show me. I showed the pitch to the mod. We talked back and forth. This dude liked the project. He ended up backing the project. I liked his input so much because his feedback was so constructive. And he's a turtle fan. So I know if it impressed him, I know people are going to like the book. So I sent him my whole script, okay? He read it. He gave me feedback. I'm putting a special thanks to him in the book. But again, this was so not everyone in Reddit is bad, but there's still a lot of people that want to gatekeep. But let me get some more comments here real quick. I got Ronald Christian says, I'm surprised Kickstarter let you do this, especially with its Christian angle, especially after what they did to Lone Star. For people who don't know,
too, man.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you a little bit about what happened. I emailed Kickstarter because I realized that my book wasn't on a fantasy, the fantasy genre area, which is totally essential, man. I mean, that's how my horror comic got to become what it was like it got to become funded, is because it was in the horror genre. No one goes to the all like newly added projects. I mean, some people do, but it's very rare that you.
Yours were specifically in fantasy.
Yeah, and so I wasn't there, and I was like, oh no, I was like, I need to get this on here now, and I launched on Thursday, and I didn't get it up until Monday, or even Wednesday, I think it was, and I said, hey, is this because of the Christian angle? And they said no, but. I just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. But anyway,
Gatekeeping is real. It happened to Lone Star. He made an awesome book, and they said, he's like, oh, because you're subjugating minorities or whatever, and it was a gang type thing, getting beat up. I mean, hey, he's a minority if you think about it. I think he's half Asian or Hawaiian. I know he's a minority. He qualifies as one. And so it's like you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like in what they're trying to say, equality and all this. It's just like, hold up, you got a creator here who's a minority that you're not even putting up. This kind of like goes against what you're preaching. But anyway, Kickstarter has its thing. If you're able to put a book on there and they accept you, cross your fingers, because as EJ Morg says right here, Kickstarter has a blacklist. I believe that. So
I do believe that too.
yeah, it's just like
favorites. I'm not gonna lie, they really do.
They do.
I'm not gonna be rude, but man, they so do, and it's ridiculous. It's like, guys, come on. I get these projects are doing amazing and they're already funded, but what about the little guys? Like, I was at the way bottom of fantasy, and it kind of pisses you off a little bit.
It's just what it is. It's gatekeeping, and not only that. What about the projects that have been funded and are just taking up slots?
Exactly.
So that's another thing. And I realized that when I did Pistolera, because if you guys are all about the equality and all that, I wasn't pushing. Hey, we got a minority pregnant, gunslinger as a hero. Like, I wasn't doing that. I'm just like, hey, it's Tarantino, it's Vendetta Western, whatever. But I'm trying to find it, and I'm like, man, it was like so far deep you couldn't find it. But hey, we still got funded. We were able to make the book a reality, so I'm happy for that. So gatekeeping is real. Reddit is also at times a cesspool, as Rusty says. So guys, take this real quick as a lesson. If you're crowdfunding a book, be patient. Understand that gatekeeping exists, and what Ryan's trying to do is just build a book that he knows people that enjoy Christmas and want that Christmas magic will find it. Me, on the other hand, are also trying to create a place where creators can just come and talk. And as my audience grows, count on me continually putting what I feel are good quality projects out there for people who should see them. And that's the way to fight off gatekeeping, to stave it off.
Yeah.
Ryan, any last words? I'm about to wrap up right now.
Guys, this is a book that you don't want to miss out on. I mean, I'm going to be honest. This is like my most personal project. So if that means anything to you guys, if you guys like Christmas, or if you guys just like really epic stories that are G-rated, but about believing in yourself, ultimately, about believing in your vision, believing in your ability to do something, no matter what people say, no matter if there's a war behind you, or there's, evil nutcrackers who don't want you to do that. Believing in yourself. So, I mean, the whole campaign has been about me believing in myself and trusting that, it's just been I don't even know how else to say it. This is a book that's worth your time. So,
amen to that. We got a book from a passionate writer that's definitely worth your time, and it funded, so you're going to get your book. And I want to thank all those who stopped by and left comments. I really appreciate when I'm just starting up as a YouTuber, and when I get people who want to hear me talk with an awesome creator, it's always fun. So every single one, EJ Morgs, Ronald Christian, Rusty, Super Looper, thank you so much for the comments. We appreciate it. And I'll be on maybe tomorrow or Saturday with another guest, and we'll talk something. Anyway, guys, also Galactic Rodix Mayhem is out. Definitely check out that on Indiegogo. Check out BRIC-A-BRAC on Kickstarter, has 34 more hours. And let's see if we could get this one. Well, it's already funded, which is a good thing. So let's see if we can get some Christmas for Christmas. Right, guys?
Yeah, if we reach 8,000, we get every single physical backer gets a print. That's a brand new of Father Christmas. So
there you go. So you got some goodies. All right, guys. It's been amazing. Until the next one. Thank you so much. Peace.